All right. With that, I think we can get started and kick things off. Hi, everyone, and welcome. Thanks for joining us today for our Customer Success Stories Migration Done Right event. I'm Jim Quilty, a Principal Solutions Engineer here at Kandji, and I'm joined by my co-host, Maz Kahale. We're thrilled to be hosting today's conversation with two incredible guests who've migrated their existing fleets from other MDMs into Kandji. Before we dive into the conversation, I'd love to kick things off with a quick round of introductions. Maz, as my co-host, I'd love for you to start.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Jim. Nice to see you all. If I've seen you, if I've met before, if not, great to meet you. My name is Maz Kahale. I'm the Global Director of Solutions here at Kandji, and we're really excited to be here and to have this presentation with you. And we're very thankful for Ali and Deepak to be joining us. A little bit about me. I'm a former Mac mobility admin. I've worked in the financial space and in the healthcare space using multiple MDMs in my past. So really excited to be here and to be with you all. I will pass it over to Deepak.
Hey, my name is Deepak. I'm the Senior Systems Engineer at Sixth Sense. I've been at Sixth Sense for about 3 years now. I've used Kandji at 2 different workplaces, so very familiar with Kandji. And pass it on to Ali.
Cool. Thank you, Deepak. Hey all, my name is Ali. I'm the Senior Manager of IT Operations for Sumo Logic. Same as Deepak, I've also had worked with Kandji at 2 different organizations, from having no MDM to migrating to Kandji, as well as from migrating existing MDM over to Kandji. So I was able to experience both situations or both phases.
Perfect. Well, thank you both again for joining us today. Love to just kind of kick it off with a question that a lot of the times I actually don't get a lot of insight into as the technical guy helping out. But I'm always curious. Was curious. How long does migration really take? A lot of the times I jump in and help you all out, and then you kind of finish. And I think the CSM knows when you all are done, but I don't always have a clear-cut answer. So I'm very curious from both of you of how long did your migration really take? Either one. Did either one of you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. So for us, we were pretty aggressive with our migration. We started in April of last year, and we had 99% of users migrated by the end of July, which is like a couple months. I say 99% because there's always that one person, that one very important person that doesn't migrate. But we were really aggressive, so that's how long it took for us.
And for me, we began the migration, or we began onboarding Kandji in July, and we were able to complete the migration by around late September, early October. Just like Deepak, we had a few stragglers towards the end, but we were able to get everybody migrated pretty seamlessly for the most part.
Excellent. Glad to hear that. And I'm actually curious, because I know, but I'm sure our guests don't. How many devices were you all migrating from as part of your fleets?
So for us, we were migrating just over 1,000 devices, like 1,100 devices. So I won't say a small amount, but a pretty good size.
And then for myself, we migrated around 750 devices total.
Okay, so decent sized fleets, which is nice to hear that it didn't take a full year or anything like that to get those users migrated.
Awesome. I'm gonna. Oh, sorry, Ali. Please go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say Kandji, honestly, from start to finish, just from the contract negotiations to helping build out the blueprints and the configurations. Kandji was with us every step of the way. Any questions that we had, they were able to answer. Their support was phenomenal, as well as our CSM and the people that we were working with. So they definitely made the process a lot easier and more efficient for us.
That's awesome. Thank you for queuing me up, Ali. This is great. So on the backside of that, right, you said all of the success, but did you run into any surprises with the process or any expected roadblocks at all?
In my experience, the biggest thing was more so in regards to just figuring out windows of when we were able to enforce devices. So a lot of the times users didn't want to restart their computers in the middle of the workday to perform an update or to install the agent. So we were able to implement a more phased approach based on the region, as well as determine what times was the most convenient for most of our users. So I would say, yeah, those are probably the biggest roadblocks. Just trying to minimize downtime while maximizing efficiency and deployment.
Nice. Thank you, Ali. Deepak, I'm going to come to you in just a second with that same question. But Ali, before we move off, right, did that help your end users gain the confidence to help you migrate all your devices? Did that work out for you, kind of communicating with them, making sure they're kind of in line with this?
Absolutely, yeah. And what it did definitely help our users, and it also, I feel like it also empowered them because we were able, just due to Kandji's self-service offerings, we were able to empower our users to kind of take their device management into their own hands, just due to the ease of use of the interface, as well as on the admin side because of how easy and intuitive the interface was. We were able to maximize the output of the deployment for across all our users in the minimum amount of time.
Awesome. That sounds great, man. Thank you for sharing. Deepak, I'm curious from your perspective, did you run into any surprises in the process or any expected roadblocks at all?
Yeah. So, I did migration at 2 different companies, so I thought I knew it all from the first company. But every environment is different. So for this migration, we ran into an authentication kind of issue because at 6 Sense we utilize a device trust, and so part of that device trust is you have to have antivirus installed. And so what we ran into is that when our user were migrating, they had to authenticate with Okta, and they couldn't authenticate because we removed our old MDM, it removed our antivirus temporarily. So we had to figure out a workaround. Jim, I think you had helped me with that specific issue, but we had figured out a workaround. But it was just something I did not expect while doing the migration.
Deepak, if it makes you feel better, I've been doing this for Kandji for 5 years, but well before that as well. And every time I think I have seen it all, something else comes then gets thrown at me.
Mm-hmm.
It's the challenge of IT.
Perfect. Well, I'm definitely curious on, migrating a fleet of your sizes, the effort required, right? How much of your team was involved? Was it just you? Did you have help? Was it small team or was it all hands on deck kind of scenario? Would love to get some insight there.
So for us, we're a small IT team, naturally. So for the configuration of Kandji, it's just me. So I create all the blueprints. I set us up for success, I would like to think. And then with our EUS team, they were kind of hands-on, down to the ground, like make sure these users they know they need to migrate, make sure they actually do it, get on calls with them to just do that final step for the migration. So it's me and then 6 other members of the EUS team.
Perfect. So not tremendous, not a huge team.
Not at all.
Glad to hear it didn't take too much. Ali, I'd love to hear you get your insight as well.
Absolutely. Just like Deepak, my team is also a pretty lean team. We had 2 users in the US, and then we had 2 users overseas in India. And we went from at Sumo Logic, we had a lean team, about 6, and then the same at my previous organization. In my previous organization, we went from having just 0 MDM, completely complete manual management, and I think for that it was going from having no MDM at all. It was just I think the biggest thing was just communicating with our users and why we're implementing this type of service or this type of the software, just to make it and then also just gaining the the user's trust that they're we're trying to emphasize security while also maintaining privacy, because there was a lot of privacy and security concerns about what we have visibility or access to, and then once we got the communication piece out of the way, it was very easy to get people on board with what our vision and what our mission was. And that I would say in my current organization, since we came from a previous MDM to Kandji, I think people were a little bit more familiar with just how that works, and what but I would say, yeah, for the most part, in both scenarios, it was Kandji just made it very very easy for us, and they were just very helpful with getting all of the fleet of devices migrated very quickly. So yeah.
That's awesome feedback, Holly. Thank you so much for sharing. And it kind of answers my question, but I'm going to ask it anyway, right? And it's going to reflect a little bit on somebody on this call. So how was the support from Kandji? Like, did you get what you needed? Did you feel you got that? If not, I can have a conversation with Jim later.
Yeah, I feel like they were definitely very responsive. I mean, any time of the day when we needed support or we reached out, they were very responsive. Anytime we needed to get on a support call or just have weekly sync ups or like weekly cadences for sync ups, the team was super helpful and supportive, and just in encouraging. You can truly feel like they wanted you to be successful with the with their product. And I feel like it was I feel like we had a lot of success with Kandji.
Nice. I'm gonna hold my good job, Jim. Deepak, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, the team was super responsive, like Ollie mentioned. Provided materials. Like one thing I really struggle with is communication with our users. So the fact that we have communication templates that we can modify to our liking, and are known to have success with other companies, it's really helpful for me. And then like the ongoing support, obviously that authentication issue and being in the middle of that, troubleshooting that, it's good knowing that you have a good migration team, and then also just the general Kandji support is one of the best supports I've ever interacted with any company. So I always preach that to anytime I want to like migrate to Kandji. I'm like, the support is top notch. Just like it's best in class, I would say.
That's fantastic feedback, and it's something we're very proud of, and we continue to encourage people to utilize. It's the little chat bot sits in your instance. Click on it, ask a question. SLA is 30 minutes, right? Average response time is amazing. I appreciate you calling that out. That's awesome, Deepak.
Specifically, I appreciate it as well, just because I definitely couldn't do these migrations myself, and the solutions team can't do it without the help of support, making sure that you all have everything that you need to have your instance actually do what it needs to do and have it function the way it needs to. So thank you for shouting them out as well. I definitely want to transition a little bit here and ask a question around kind of after migration, right? So you've migrated your fleet. I'm really happy to hear that both of you had a smooth experience. My job is probably safe. But I'd love to hear a little bit more about kind of post-migration, right? What's changed for your environments? What has that experience been like since you've been using Kandji now for an extended period of time?
I think for me, I always this is like not always a true indicator of how good a product is, but I think for me, it's the less time I spend in a portal, the better I feel about it. Because I don't have to, I don't have to worry about being in Kandji. Like obviously once it's configured, I don't have to worry and like troubleshoot any issues with like deployments or worry about an agent disconnecting at some random moment. So as much as I love the Kandji portal, I love using Kandji, I don't have to be in it as much, or no one has to be in it as much. So yeah, that's always like a true indicator of like a really good product for me.
And for me, I would say just because I've my organizations have been customers of Kandji since I believe about 2022, but it also, what I appreciate is just how much the platform and the service has evolved since then. So it seems like they're not just the type of company where it's just they have a good product and then they just kind of get stagnant or complacent in terms of development. So just even from the time that my existing organization migrated Kandji until now, they've added a lot of features and enhancements, and it just seems like it's continuous. Like every time I go into the portal, it seems like there's always the interfaces just got updated recently, so that's always nice. It seems like they're definitely listening to the customer feedback and input, and continuing to evolve and grow, with their customers, and keep up with the with the evolving market. And so yeah, I would say overall just how they're just the continuous development that they offer, and just continuing to grow with new features and additions to the platform.
Excellent. Really happy to hear that. I as well really appreciated the UI update for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. The interface looks really, really good after this latest update, and I'm like you, Ali. I keep appreciating all these new features we keep putting out. Each one of them, I wish I was an admin back again, because then it would make my life so much easier. But yeah, I totally agree. Like if you think about the whole process, right? I want to think about the end users. I want to shift there a little bit. Did you all get any feedback from your end users or from the stakeholders about the process and what they thought about it at all, out of curiosity? I can start with you, Deepak, because I've been picking on Ali the last few times.
Yeah. So for our end users, it was a little new for them, because previously we weren't with our previous MDM, we weren't deploying like OS updates or app updates. We weren't really deploying anything, if at all. So it's new for them. So they're seeing this experience of, hey, you need to update your OS within this amount of days. They're like, what is this? What are we doing? But I think with the experience on their end, once they realize like how easy it is, like, hey, we get this, you see this timer, you could delay how much you want until a certain amount of time. That experience being easy makes it better for them, so that they're just like, okay, this is easy, so I don't mind doing it. But early on, it was kind of a little bit of friction there, because they just weren't used to it. And then for our stakeholders, they're more impressed with how much they don't have to think about it. It's kind of going back to like, I don't have to be in the portal as often, but they don't have to think about it because they're just so like locked in, like it's 100%, it's working, it just does what it does.
Yeah, we've definitely gotten that feedback on the Queen Bee with the red dot, right? It's training the end users to update. Which again, I wish I had in my time, because that was something I always had to follow up with end users on. So appreciate you sharing, Deepak. What about you, Ali? What feedback, if any, or did you get from the end users or your stakeholders?
I think the biggest thing was just more so just trying to minimize disruptions in terms of notifications. So previously just we had the notifications locked down, just to kind of encourage or to push engagement to update applications or update the software, and then just through feedback, we were able to figure out a solution to minimize a lot of those disruptions or unnecessary notifications, while still ensuring that their users are updating or staying up to date on their software versions or their client versions as well. And then also going back to just being able to decrease downtime, so not having to enforce updates in the middle of a workday, and then suggesting maybe something on during non-business hours, or maybe on a just so that they're able to they don't, just like Deepak said, they don't really have to think about it. It just kind of works, or just does its thing in the background.
Thank you for sharing.
No problem.
Yeah, honestly, really love to hear that it's hopefully simplified your all's lives a little bit, and made the process a little bit smoother for your end users. I definitely want to say, so after everything is said and done, right, looking back at the process, is there anything you would do differently, or what would you do differently as part of the migration process? And I don't think I've actually picked on anyone. So Deepak, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, besides migrating sooner, if that was an option, that would have been my number one choice. But honestly, I don't think I would change anything. We were pretty aggressive with our timeline. I felt prepared because I've done the migration before, and I felt equally prepared because we had the migration team behind us. So I think things like, there's certain things that'll come up naturally. It always happens, but I felt prepared for when those things did come up. So it's kind of a bad answer, but I wouldn't really change anything.
Yeah, I'll take the answer for sure.
Right?
Ali, what about you?
No, honestly, I'm with Deepak 100%. I think, the only thing I would change is just, not doing it sooner. Just being, prepared coming from, a previous organization with Kandji. I kind of knew, what to expect, what to expect like going into it. But other than that, I would say just, nothing. I wouldn't have changed anything. I know it's kind of a, like he easily said, like a little cliche, like, to say, but honestly, I can't think of anything that I would change.
Man, I mean, again, I think y'all are protecting my job, so I'll take it for sure.
Yeah, I'm with Jim. I'll take those. Those are amazing answers. But I'm going to follow up on a different side of that then. If you're not going to change anything, if you're thinking about the process, right, and you've already done it, what advice would you give some of our listeners and kind of other users kind of considering migration and thinking about it?
For me, I would say just to be very confident with your migration. Like, it's very easy to think like, hey, I have to migrate, 1,000 devices. I'm going to do like a slow rollout or a phased approach. But I would say specifically for Kandji, I think I would say be aggressive with it. Those last few users can linger. So if you're up against a timeline, like for us, we, our previous MDM, our contract was running end of cycle in like August of that year, last year. So we were some of our team was kind of worried, like, hey, are we going to migrate all these devices before then? Because then we, they have no MDM on those devices. But we might be in 2 months. I think we could have even done this. We could have been more aggressive, honestly, if we needed to. So I would say just be confident with it. Don't drag it out. It's really easy for me to say, but I think that'd be my advice.
Nice. Ali, what about you? What are your thoughts?
I would say I would agree. To be confident and just kind of, trust the platform and trust the team at Kandji to be able to empower you with the the tools and the the support that that you're able to fulfill your fulfill your mission and your vision in the the timeline and the designated timeline, and just just I would say just have fun and just know that that you have a great foundation or support team behind you if you need any support, or if you have any questions that you need answered.
Got it. So on a basis, just let it rip. That's kind of what I heard from both of you. Awesome. Sounds good.
Not always for anything, but for Kandji specifically.
Exactly.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, with that, I'm going to pass it back to Jim, and we'll wrap up.
Absolutely. Well, I think we're right at time. So this was actually a perfect conversation. First, I want to give a big thank you to everyone who's joining us today, and especially to Deepak and Ali for joining us and sharing some of your time, which as a former IT administrator, I know that is extremely limited. So I definitely appreciate you all taking the time and joining us for this chat. I think if I had to summarize kind of what we've talked about today and some of the key takeaways for anyone watching, is that migration doesn't have to take a tremendous amount of time. We can be aggressive, apparently, which is fantastic. And that communication is key with your end users, with Kandji, with your team. That communication makes a huge difference. And I think most importantly, you don't have to have a massive team in order to complete the process. Based on everything you both have told us, you did it with fairly small teams for the size of fleets that you have, and relying on Kandji support, your solutions team to assist with that you can just let it rip. So I appreciate both of your time today again. We hope that this conversation gave everyone here a clear picture of what migration to Kandji can look like and what's possible on the other side of it as well. If you'd like to revisit this conversation, the recording will be available on our YouTube channel. And thank you all again, and enjoy the rest of your day.